If you only read the headlines, tech might look like a dead end right now. Over 150,000 tech workers got laid off in 2026 so far, and entry-level hiring at the biggest companies is down more than 50% since 2019. Everyone keeps on saying the same thing: the hiring's frozen, AI is taking the jobs, and don't even bother. But here's what most people are missing. The tech job market isn't dying, it's splitting. Some roles are becoming easier to automate, harder to get, and less valuable to companies. But other roles are seeing stronger demand, higher salaries, and a growing shortage of qualified candidates. The problem is that most best tech job lists still treat both groups exactly the same. So in this video, I'll show you the tech jobs that are actually worth pursuing in 2026 and the popular roles I would think twice about entering right now. Hi friends, I'm Maddie. I'm a senior software engineer who previously worked at Google, Internet, other big tech companies like Amazon, IBM, and Microsoft. And I'm not coming at this from the outside. I've sat on both sides of the hiring table, watched which roles my own teams were scrambling to fill versus the ones quietly disappearing, and I've spent a lot of time recently digging into where the demand is actually headed. In this video, I went and pulled the real 2026 data: what's growing, what's quietly shrinking, what AI is eating, and what AI is creating, and I'm gonna give you the jobs I'd actually point people to right now. So the ones with real demand, real pay, and a real moat against automation. I'll also, on the flip side, tell you the roles I'd be nervous about, the ones that still look great on a salary chart or search but are untenable in my opinion. Be sure to stick around for that part because it's the stuff most of these videos won't really discuss. Let's get into it. Before I name specific jobs, let's first talk big picture about the single best predictor of whether a job is thriving or dying. So for these jobs, on one hand, you have work that AI replaces. Predictable, role-based, the same task over and over. On the other hand, you have work that AI amplifies. Judgment, design, ownership, knowing what to build and why. Jobs that are doing worse usually involve a lot of the former, while jobs that are thriving involve the latter. And the data backs this up pretty bluntly. Entry-level employment in the most AI-exposed jobs has dropped about 13% since late 2022, with the steepest drops in data entry, basic support, and routine coding. Over that same stretch, demand for people who can actually direct AI grew roughly sevenfold. So you've got the same industry pulling hard in two opposite directions at once, and that gap is basically the whole story of 2026. And that same idea, let AI handle the root part so that your judgment is where the value goes, is exactly what today's sponsor Granola does for the single most annoying task on a tech career: meetings. As an engineer, I know that all we want to do is code and do technical work. However, as you move up, you will live in meetings. Stand-ups, planning, stakeholder syncs, one-on-ones. And the part that actually decides whether you look on top of it isn't the meeting itself, it's what happens afterward. The follow-ups, the action items, the wait, what did we actually agree on? That's where Granola comes in. It's the AI notepad for people stuck in back-to-back meetings. So when I use Granola, after I finish a call, instead of a wall of raw transcript, I've got a clean summary with the decisions and action items neatly pulled out for me. No bot awkwardly joining the call. Granola just transcribes your computer's audio in the background across Zoom, Meet, in person, or whatever conferencing software your team uses. The part that really sold me is the recipes. After a meeting, I hit /what did I miss and instantly catch up on anything I zoned out on. Then the agentic chat turns that meeting into searchable notes and a shareable team update just like that. New users get their first month completely free through my link below. Okay, now back to the jobs. Let's start where everyone expects: the AI and ML engineer. Yes, I know, every video says this, but the numbers are really hard to argue with. LinkedIn ranked AI engineer the fastest growing job title in the US going into 2026. The median salary is $243,000. Global AI spending is projected to hit around $300 billion this year. And the number I'd actually pay attention to more than the salary is the supply gap. There are roughly 3 open AI roles for every qualified person, and for the specialized stuff, it stretches to 8 to 1. However, here's something to be cognizant of. AI engineer has quietly turned into 2 completely different jobs hiding under the same title. One is the person who fine-tunes models, builds real production pipelines, works with vector databases and retrieval systems, and that person is being highly sought after. The other person wired up an API called ChatGPT and added AI to their resume, and that person is competing with the entire internet. So if you're chasing this path, chase the deep version of it. What employers actually want to know in 2026 is whether you can take an AI system and make it run reliably in prod day after day. That's the thing that will protect you, not having the AI buzzword on your LinkedIn. And keep in mind that a lot of highly paid AI people often combine engineering with deep deep knowledge of one industry. So for example, healthcare or finance or manufacturing. That domain expertise commands a real premium over generalist AI talent because a model that understands fraud or diagnostics is worth far more than one that doesn't understand anything specifically well. Now let's talk about the role that I think is the most underrated job in tech right now, the data engineer. Everyone obsesses over models, but the pipes that feed them, very few people give that a second thought, which is exactly why I think this role is so underrated. Every AI system, analytics dashboard, recommendation engine is only as good as the data flowing into it. And data engineers are the ones who build and maintain that flow. Pipelines, the warehouses, the streaming systems. If you feed a great model messy data, it will happily hand you total garbage with confidence. That's exactly why this role is so durable. It's deeply technical, it's right next to the AI gold rush, and the work is really hard to automate because it's all about judgment and system design, not repetition. So if the AI engineer field feels overcrowded to you, this is the side door into the exact same boom with a lot less competition standing in front of it. Next up, we have cybersecurity and security engineering. This one really earns its spot. There's an estimated global shortfall of millions of security professionals, and survey after survey shows most organizations are understaffed. The median range typically runs from around 140K up past 200K for strong engineers. And this is a role that becomes more and more important as AI usage increases. The more AI gets woven into everything, the bigger the attack surface gets, and the more you need humans who can think adversarially. AI is a tool for attackers too. Defending against AI attacks is not a problem you can fully hand over to a script. So if you want a tech career that holds up when the economy gets shaky, and 2026 has had its shaky moments, security is about as close to recession-proof as this industry gets. But what if you're technical, but you also like the strategy side, the people side, the why are we even building this side? Then look hard at the technical product manager, and specifically the AI product manager. This is the person who decides what gets built and makes sure the engineering effort actually turns into something people want. Technical PMs land roughly into the 150 to 175K range, and senior folks at bigger companies clear 250K plus in total comp. The AI PM flavor of this specifically is exploding because every company on earth is trying to add AI, and a lot of them have no idea how to do it well. Someone has to translate between the model and the business, and that someone is going to be extremely hard to replace because that whole job is judgment. I bring up this role because I know so many of you probably assume that the only way up in tech is to write more code forever. It isn't. If you understand systems, but your real talent is direction and communication, this path is wide open right now. Next, here's a role that almost never gets a spotlight but is very critical: the cloud and platform engineer. Think about this for a minute. Every single job I've talked about so far, the AI engineer, the data engineer, the security work, all of that runs on top of cloud infrastructure. The models get trained on it. The pipelines flow through it. None of it exists without someone building and maintaining the platform underneath. That is this person. And public cloud spending is now north of $700 billion a year, which tells you exactly how much weight this layer is carrying. The pay reflects this. Average cloud engineers get paid around 150K in 2026, with top earners clearing 230K, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics projects about 15% growth in the field through 2034, which is much faster than average. The platform engineering flavor, which is really DevOps grown up, sits right at the top of that band. So what separates the people getting these offers from the people who aren't in 2026 is Kubernetes, and I mean real production level Kubernetes. If you can really handle auto-scaling, network policies, multi-cluster setups, you're looking at a lot more money than someone who can't consistently. And let's take a step back and think about how this role falls into our previous criteria. It's infrastructure, judgment, and system design under real pressure. That's not the kind of work that AI is absorbing. If anything, AI is making it even more in demand because every AI system anyone ships has to actually run somewhere reliable. Alright, so now let's change gears and get back to the part I promised. Roles whose future you might want to be a bit nervous about. These are ones that are routine and structured task roles. For example, manual QA testing, basic data analysis, tier 1 support, first pass boilerplate coding. And I want to be really careful and honest here because this gets twisted into doom and gloom all the time. I'm not saying that these fields are dead or that you should panic. I'm saying that what's shrinking is the version of these jobs that was pure repetition. The people who keep on moving toward judgment, toward owning outcomes, toward directing the AI are doing completely fine. But the thing that actually puts you in risk in 2026 isn't picking some wrong fields. It's sitting still inside whatever field you're in and refusing needing to adapt and move toward work that AI can't replace. So in conclusion, here's what 2026 actually rewards. Jobs where you sit close to where AI creates value, but the value itself still depends on you, your design choices, your judgment, and your ownership. And the roles we discussed are AI and ML engineering, data engineering, cybersecurity, technical and AI product management, and cloud and platform engineering as the layer that runs all of it. And that's all I have for you in this video. If this was helpful, hit that like button, hype the video, and subscribe for more tech and AI career insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next one.